while all this was happening, while all the Adam Schenk and Tommy Fleetwood and Jordan Spieth madness was happening, it was Taylor Moore who made birdie on 9, birdie on 12, birdie on 15, birdie on 16, played his final 10 holes, Patrick, in 4 under par to post 10 under and get the opportunity to sit in the clubhouse and see if anyone could catch him. Spoiler alert, they could not.
Man, I was really hoping I wouldn't be the first one to touch on Taylor Moore, but I guess I kind of deserve it after the opening. But he kind of reminds me of a bit of an NPC, you know, a non-playing character. Like this whole time, we all thought that Adam Schenk or Jordan Spieth was going to win. I had 2 different leads for the wrap-up at CBSSports.com, and boom, Taylor Moore, all of a sudden, your winner after Schenk hits it against the tree. Spieth blows one into the water. But the way he finished, I mean, you got to give him kudos, right? The birdie or the tee shot on the par 3 15th was a laser to 5 feet. And then the 25-footer from the left side of the rough. I think he was in the rough on 16, not the trees quite.
He was.
To set up birdie there was very impressive. And then we saw it with Garrick Higa. They kind of showed it on the broadcast earlier. That putt from the front of the green is not easy. And he hit it to just inside 6 feet and dead centered, middle of the cut. So to play your last 10 holes at Innisbrook in 4 under is really good golf. You're golfing your golf ball there. And he did that. And I think he went through some injuries, I want to say, in his like mid-20s. That's why he's only a second-year guy on the PGA Tour who's 29. And so it's good for him, but he's kind of the stereotypical middle-class, lower-class type of guy on the PGA Tour. He entered the week 103rd in the official world golf rankings, was outside the top 50 in the FedEx Cup points, and now all of a sudden you win. He's ahead of Rory. He's ahead of Cantlay. He's ahead of Morikawa. He's inside the top 10 of the Comcast business, whatever you call it, inside the FedEx Cup. So he's really set him up for a really good, fun summer, right? Invitation to the Masters, all this type of stuff. So that's what winning can do.
Yeah, that's right. That is inside the top 10 of the Comcast business, whatever you call it, inside the top 10 of the FedEx Cup standings, his second 67 of the week, Greg. And I like what Patrick said there because, you know, we saw the putt that he had to hit up 18, which was kind of swatting balls back all day. It was that moment. There was the moment on 15, the moment on 16, where I was waiting for the wheels to fall off. I was waiting for the mistake to happen. I was waiting for the bogey to come. We saw it with everybody else. It never came. It was a pretty impressive stout finish from Taylor Moore.
It could have happened twice on 18. I mean, he hit the same shot Adam Schenk hit off that tee. He very easily could have been completely blocked out or had to pitch out sideways or had to lay up. And he's able to hit a great shot in there that almost gets up on the top level. I mean, it ends up rolling all the way back down. And you know, like Patrick mentioned with Garrick Higa, and this has happened before in the past, you could make a mess from short of that green with that back hole location. So it was very impressive, very clutch. The nerves on the greens. He looked so calm. Even after he won, he was so calm. Right, asking his fiance if she's happy. It was very, very. I guess
I didn't see that part. Was it like passive aggressive? Like, finally happy?
No.
You happy now? I finally won. You happy? Does this make you happy?
Is that what you wanted?
Lucas Glover situation.
No, not at all. It was very sweet, but it was very calm. It wasn't like a guy that just won his first time on the PGA Tour. He was far from tears, and that's not always the case. But he has a sweet golf swing too, and so there's one side of me that's saying, okay, he's never been here before. It's only his 46th start on the PGA Tour.
Yep.
I'm thinking, yeah, there's probably going to be a mistake. We've seen great players make mistakes on the final 9 holes at Innisbrook many times, and Taylor Moore is likely going to make one of those. And if he came close to it, he didn't. But then on the other side of that, I'm thinking this guy has a sweet golf swing. He is a lot better than his numbers look. And he showed that last year. I mean, he made it to the BMW Championship last year as a rookie. So he's no joke. He didn't really fit into this picture for most of the day. And all of a sudden, it's not Spieth winning. It's not Fleetwood winning. It's not Adam Schenk winning. It's Taylor Moore, which kind of comes out of nowhere.
Taylor Moore. Go ahead.
Where do you have him ranked, Rick? In your
boy, I'd have to pull it up. Give me a second.
Okay. You can pull it up while I'm talking. Oh, you want me to talk right now?
Yeah, that would be ideal, right?
Taylor
Moore.
He was, I think, 52nd in data golf, a lot lower than that in the OWGR. But I think what that gets at is like and this is what Greg was saying, is he's a good ball striker. He's sort of in that weird middle space between, like, if you look at his performance on the Korn Ferry, he kind of dominates. Like, he's really good. He was really good 3 years ago on the Korn Ferry, and he's had some kind of he'll pop up at certain events or have some good performances, but he's not in that. He's like a tier 4 player, a tier 3 player, however you want to break it up. He's just not in that. He's sort of where Schenk is in terms of like a little bit on the, okay, am I going to be in that top 50 going into 2024? Am I going to be able to be in those elevated events? He's that kind of player, which is obviously a really good player, but and that's what I think that's part of the reason, Rick, that these events are sort of interesting, is like, can those guys play their way into some of the elevated, designated, whatever events going forward? That's obviously not the formula for this year, but if this was 2024, that would be a kind of a preeminent storyline.
Correct. Right. So I have Taylor Moore 66th, by the way. So close-ish on,
yeah.
What'd you say?
52 or I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. So, right. So really, for next year, Patrick, if this was, let's say, the first event of 3 non-elevated events, Taylor Moore would obviously all good. He won, no problem there. But like Adam Schenk would now be in the driver's seat. Tommy Fleetwood, if he weren't already qualified, or like Wyndham Clark or Matt Wallace or Cody Gribble or Eric Van Rooyen would now be trying to build this momentum for the next couple of starts so that they could get into these elevated events.
Correct. Yeah, Cody Gribble. Do you guys talk about him? That would have been a cool story there. But yeah, it kind of just makes these guys' palms a little bit sweater down the stretch, knowing that, okay, if I connect with a top 5 finish here, maybe parlay that into another one next week, that could be enough to have the 3rd most FedEx Cup points. So I'm guessing it's top 3 outside the 3 winners is how it's going to be.
Probably top 3 outside of anyone who's already qualified, and the winners would already be qualified.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so it really does make – just imagine if – he is qualified, but if Jordan Spieth wasn't qualified and he misses that putt like that on the 72nd hole, like that, those kind of moments will have a whole new meaning next year with kind of the cadence of the schedule and playing into these designated events.
Taylor Moore, 2023 Valspar champion, first win in his 46th PGA Tour start. Congratulations. He lists his 3 favorite professional sports teams as the Oklahoma City Thunder.
He's from Edmond.
Yes.
Basically Oklahoma City.
And he went to the University of Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
So Oklahoma City Thunder, the Dallas Cowboys. So Kyle, that's fair, right? Because that would be the closest. That would be like the closest professional football team to him.
Most people that are from Oklahoma City, their favorite basketball team is the Thunder, and their favorite football team is the Cowboys.
Okay, so I'm on board so far. The 3rd team.
Let me guess. I haven't seen this.
You can guess, but you could not possibly guess the answer to this.
Is it an American team?
Well, okay. I've just been stumped in guess who. Like, this is like a great question to ask in guess who, because I have to say no.
Okay, I'll say the Tottenham Soccer Club.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Ooh, okay, great.
Blue Jays.
Oh, I had that one in my mind, but that's just because Patrick said Toronto. I will go with the Seattle Kraken.
Go.
Not an American team?
Seattle is in America.
You said non-American. You know what? I missed that part.
This is like when you said, well, who do you guess was on the Ryder Cup team?
Steve Pate. I don't know.
No,
Steve Jones. Who was it?
Somebody like that.
Steve
Bryson
Flesh?
DeChambeau.
No,
Steve Flesh. Steve Flesh.
Verplank? Yeah, yeah.
No, it was Steve Flesh.
Yeah, it was.
The Toronto Blue Jays is the answer. So
Oh.
his favorite pro sports teams: Oklahoma City Thunder, Dallas Cowboys, Toronto Blue Jays, like any good Oklahoma City kid would.
Sure. Yeah, big Vlad Jr. guy.
Yeah, what could that possibly be? Like he went to Toronto on a field trip when he was 11 and fell in love with how could that happen?
Maybe the Blue Jay is just his favorite bird.
There you go.
Yeah, I like
Joe
that
Carter.
angle, Greg.
Yeah,
Joe Carter.
I love Blue Jays. You never know how kids come up with their favorite teams. It can be a bizarre thing.
Yeah,
And then they love them for the rest. Like whatever bizarre thing your child brain came up with, that's now the next 70 years for you.
Yes.
Yeah, my kids love the Vikings and the Bengals because Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase do the gritty.
Right.
And they're going to my kids will like the Bengals when they're 33 and not remember why.
Right.
Well, hopefully you can remind them so they have to tell people.
Yeah,
because Jamar Chase did the best gritty of anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah, Jamar Chase is going to be 55 years old doing the gritty. And they're like, that's why I love the Bengals.